Why should you decrease the amount of texting that you do and instead substitute it with voice recorded messages that you can send to business or personal connections, friends, relationships? My name is George, I'm founder of the Catapult Your Career Academy, and in this video series I share with you very practical and very actionable advice as to how you can get your career ahead faster and how you can ace your job application process. So, if you're new to this video series, very seriously consider to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching it on YouTube. If you're watching it somewhere else, push on the YouTube link at the bottom part of this video, go there and subscribe so you don't miss future actionable knowledge that I deliver to you. Now, on to today's topic of texting, which has become a ubiquitous way in which we communicate with people. There is kind of the times when you used to call anybody and everybody are kind of gone. Instead, what most of us today prefer is to just text, whether it's email, whether it's via some kind of messenger platform, and the other person sees the text and he or she replies whenever it's convenient for them. And then you reply whenever it's convenient for you, and so on and so forth. So texting has been really cool in terms of just bringing the convenience of I control my time and I decide whenever I'm gonna talk to you, communicate with you. But it has also, on the other hand, taken some of that individual personal approach when it comes to communication. It has, because text is text, it's plain text. There's no emotion there. It's very hard for you to convey emotion, to convey intention, to convey kind of like a feeling. Sure, you can try with emoji, sure you can try with the words you use, but often a lot of these get misinterpreted. I've multiple times, especially when in communication with new people, but also with people I've been in contact for a very long time, there has been misinterpretations, miscommunications, because I wrote something and that's not what I really meant. And I've had major troubles actually, once with a friend, he really misinterpreted what I said. He really our relationship, it was almost about to an end because of a text message and something that I blurted out very quickly on text, and he obviously it wasn't what I said wasn't what I meant, and then he got very offended by it. So it was really bad for me. At the end of the day, thank God I was able to fix it, and we're all good now. But it was a horrible experience for me. I've had it other times with people, when I get to know them, or initial connection, I text and they're like, do you actually mean this? And I'm like, what do you mean? And then it's something totally different from what I actually meant, because text cannot convey as good as voice has, because text is something we have invented in order to have a different way in terms of we communicate. But the natural way in which we communicate, it's voice, it's speaking, it's talking. So that is why I have been starting to consider, why shouldn't I start using more voice messaging, voice recording? Because with voice, I can convey intention, I can convey feeling, I can convey just different types of emotion, which are very hard to convey using text, number one. Secondly, I've also realized that actually communicating in voice is so much easier, it's just faster. I mean, if you wanna just try it for yourself. But when I tried it for myself, I realized that sometimes if I have to explain something longer, whether it's business or personal context, I write it out, and it takes me, I don't know, it can take me a minute, it can take me a couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes, depending on how long it is on a computer. If it's on a phone, it takes me personally even longer, because I just type slower on the phone, number one. Secondly, you always have this, I make some mistakes, so the how is it called, this I forgot the word, but when it changes, I write something and I misspell it, and then the computer, the phone thinks I meant something totally different, so it corrects my words, and then everything gets really messed up. So that's why if I'm writing important messages, I actually reread what I've written, and I check that everything's correct, and then only I send it out, and this takes a lot of time. Instead, if I just push the mic button, which most messengers have, I say it out, and I'm really surprised how much I can say in like 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds. In 1 minute you can say so much, really. Like in 1 minute you can say really a lot of amount of information you can convey, which otherwise in 1 minute there's absolutely no way that, regardless of how fast you type on the computer or on the phone, there's no way you convey that much amount of information. So it's the second reason why. Like, first reason is because I can convey emotion, can convey feelings. Second reason is because it's just faster and easier to talk, you know, and you still keep the convenience of texting, where it's like you text or you send the voice message, and the other person replies whenever he or she has time to listen to it, and then he replies or she replies to you whenever it's convenient for them. You reply whenever it's convenient for you, and so on and so forth. And the third reason which I love voice messaging is because, just like I mentioned in another video I recorded about why I started recording myself, so I can better examine myself as to how I look, how I look in front of others, how others perceive me. There's also a lot about how I talk. And whereas I have to, you know, like, starting to record videos of yourself is something that you have to add into your life. Like, for example, I'm spending time right now recording this very message, and I'm going to spend time then watching to this message, you know. So I'm adding this is basically, because I only have 24 hours per day. If I do this, I'm taking some of that time. But in contrast, when it comes to voice recording, you don't add something new, you just substitute what you're already doing, texting to people, with voice recording. And by doing this, you save time, but you can also again examine how you speak, because as I've said multiple times in many other videos, the way you communicate, the way others perceive you, there's very little to do with what you say, with the content you say, and there's so much to do with how you say it, with the voice and with the body language that you do. And voice recording messages can help you to work, to self-examine, to be self-aware about your voice, and to proactively think about how you can improve your voice communication. And just to explain how important it is that your voice, is like how you speak instead of what you say. Just look at Donald Trump. I mean, seriously, like, this guy talks complete shit. I mean, what he's saying a lot of the times makes absolutely zero sense. Like, really doesn't make any sense at all. But because he says it in a good way, he says it in a very confident way. He looks like super confident when he says it. People actually believe him. I mean, it's fascinating to me how much, like, absolutely things which make zero sense, they're actually controversial in multiple ways. People do not even comprehend. Like, they don't think about it at all. As long as it sounds okay, they trust him, they believe him. And it's the same way when you communicate with anybody and anyone. So that is why voice recording messages can help you to work on your voice. Now, for this specific reason, I highly recommend that you start voice recording and communicating with others using WhatsApp or Telegram. These are the two messengers, although pretty much all the messengers I use, whether it's Viber, Signal, WeChat, Facebook Messenger, they all allow you to send voice recordings. I specifically like WhatsApp and Telegram because they allow me not just to record voice messages, but also to re-listen to them once I record it, before I send them to the other user. So I record a message, I re-listen to it, so I make sure that I don't screw up royally, you know, I don't say something wrong, or I don't input the wrong intention, the wrong kind of sound, and then I send it. On Facebook, for example, this I really don't necessarily like too much, because you just push the button, Facebook starts recording the messenger, and then when I'm done, I like stop pushing the button, the message is instantly sent. Which is okay sometimes, but it's not necessarily cool when you're starting, you know? You want to have this kind of self-censorship or self-control as to how you speak and what type of message you send. So try WhatsApp, try Telegram, are amazing messengers which can help you to record, self-examine yourself and improve. So these are my 3 reasons why I have been and still increase. I've been changing the amount of texting I do, and instead I do more and more voice recorded messages. Number 1, because I can convey feeling, I can convey emotion, I can convey intention with voice recorded messages. Secondly, because it's actually easier and faster for me to communicate via voice. And thirdly, because this helps me to work on improving the way I speak and the way I talk, when I'm perceived more and more, which is helping me, and it can help you to communicate better with anyone, distantly, but also in person, in real life. Because a lot of us don't really realize how we speak. We never listen to ourselves how we speak. And then the first moment I recorded myself, and I've in video or in audio, I realized that I sounded very boring. That I was just very, speaking and I was saying all this and these fewer type of words, which are super annoying to the listener. Or I use these parasite words that I repeat over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, which is again so annoying to the other person who is listening to you. And voice recording as well as camera, video recordings has helped me improve this in all of my communication overall, which helps me to sell myself better, to convince friends as well as business relations in whatever I want to convince them or persuade them to just get my point across better, it's going to help you certainly if you're going to be applying for a job to just be more confident and convince the interviewers, the hiring managers, that you are the person to get there. So that's about it. That's what I wanted to share with you today. If you are, by the way, watching this video and you want to make sure that if you like this content and if you think that this content can add value to other people, make sure you share it with them so they can benefit, so you and me can help other friends of yours to improve the way they communicate, the way they grow personally and professionally. Also, make sure if you think that what I said here makes sense, if you actually are gonna try recording your voice messages, please let me know down in the comments below. Please, again, make sure you subscribe so you get future videos of mine. And if you don't agree with what I said here for whatever reason, again, please let me know. I would love to engage in a conversation, because maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe there's something more that we can add to this conversation. So please let me know down in the comments below, and I would be happy to talk to you. So with that in mind, I hope you have an amazing day today. I hope that you keep on growing, keep on doing new stuff, keep on implementing and finding these new ways and new strategies for you to be always aiming higher, executing bolder, and keep repeating this process until you keep growing again and again every single day. Hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you very soon again.